In this video we're going to look at creating different types of layout and a scroll bar. I'm going to start off with using this group element. It's a Spark component, and you can logically group children within this component. It's quite a handy little control to use for grouping information. And within that, I'm going to specify the layout. And by the layout, I mean, how do I want the controls within this group to lay out? Do I want to lay them out vertically? Do I want to lay them out horizontally? Do I want to tile them? What kind of layout do I want to use? So, S layout. Okay. I'm going to go for a vertical layout for this option. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Within the vertical layout, I'm going to set some, get this on one line. I'm going to create some padding, so it's going to put a padding around the group basically, and I'm going to set the padding left to equal to 10, and the padding right, the padding top also equal to 10. So that'll just put some nice padding along the top and the left of the group that contains the controls. And let's just add some simple text to labels. It's nicely putting it on the next line, the closing tag, but I haven't got that much information put in the tag for it to warrant it going over 2 lines, so I'll just stick it on 1 line there. Okay. We'll just save that. Not happy about something up there, so we can say that I've got a little error here. Could not resolve the S group component. Does it need to be a capital G? Try that now, and that sorted that out. So from that we've learned that flex is case sensitive, so we need to use a capital letter for the group control. Let's just run this and have a look and see what my layout looks like. So as you can see, it's vertically aligned the content on that page. And if we wanted to choose a different layout, so if we went for a horizontal layout instead of a vertical layout, oops, and test that, you can see it does it horizontally across the screen. You also have a basic layout. With your basic layout, you can set the X and Y coordinates of where you want your components on the screen. So we'll just have a quick look at that. And I'll set the X value to equal 10 and the Y value, whoops, to equal 10. So the X value sets the horizontal value across the screen, and the Y value sets the vertical value across the screen. And we'll just copy those and alter them for these 2 labels. So I'm going to do, whoops, 30, 30, and 100, and 100. And save that, and let's see how that shows it up on the screen. Whoops, I've created an error. What's my error? Multiple markers at this line. Alright, you mustn't be able to use padding left and padding top for a basic layout. Now you'd have to put that on the group. Now the group won't allow you to have a layout, but what I can do is a padding, sorry. I don't think, and we'll just check that. So if we go to group, and let's see if we get any. No, we're not allowed to have a one in there. What I can do is wrap all this in a vertical group. Show you how to do that. Not like that. I'll show you again. So you can have an H group or a vertical group. A V group is your vertical group, and an H group is a horizontal group, which basically automatically defines the layout for you. It'll allow us to put a pattern on here, and we'll just indent that nicely in there. So now we still get our pattern around the group. Let's run that. And as you can see, now the labels are placed wherever I've told them to go with the X and Y values. I'm a little bit rusty today. I was out partying last night, so probably comes across in me voice this morning. Okay, the last one was tiled layout. So I'll probably get rid of this V group for this one, can I? Just to double check. We'll try it out. So we're going for a tiled layout. Just allow it to have padding in it. Yeah. So we can do a padding left 10, padding right. I think the reason that we can't do the pattern left and right for the basic layout is because the basic layout's not skinnable where the other layouts are, which means you're allowed to add attributes to them. So for this one, we'll probably need a few more labels just to demo it. Probably we'll get rid of all these X and Y coordinates here. We'll just test this one. And as you can see, it's done it as a tile. So that's quite a nice feature to use if you've got lots of buttons on a page or lots of images on a page and you want to tile them nicely. Right, I'm going to go back to the vertical layout because the next thing I want to look at is just showing you how to use the automatic orientation. So when you create your mobile app, you can specify whether the default orientation is portrait or landscape. Now it's portrait by default, but you can specify a different layout for portrait or for for landscape. Sorry. So we'll just alter that code. I'm going to alter it back to vertical layout for this example. I'm just going to alter these a minute. I'm going to add a few more. Am I? No, I'm not at the minute. We're not doing scrolling yet. Right, so yeah, let's do scrolling first and then we'll do the automatic orientation. So we'll just add a few more of these. And save that. And I wanna add a scroll bar to this. So if you put so much content on the screen that it goes off the screen, your app doesn't have a scroll bar by default. You've got to add a scroll bar to it. And the way that we do that is we have to wrap everything within here within a scroller. So if you had lots of groups and lots of components, you wrap the scroller around those components. So we'll just wrap these in a little scroller. Give it a height and a width just so that I can show you it working in this example. Width equals 100. Okay. And that's it. Test that. Right, so as you can see, it only shows you numbers 1, 2 and 3, well a bit of 3, but you can't see the scroll bar. Now because a mobile application is specifically designed for a small device, the way that it works is that your scroll bar is not on by default because that scroll bar takes up some of the screen space. So by default the scroll bar is switched off. Then when your user goes to scroll either using the device's controls such as a mouse for example, or through the touch screen, that's when the scroller comes on. So if I just click on this area here, there you can see the scroll bars just come up on the right there, going up and down. It's only tiny there. Okay, so that's basically how you add a scroll bar to your app. Right, going back to orientation, yeah, so by default your orientation's portrait, but you can set different layouts for whether the phone is currently being viewed in portrait or landscape mode. And the way that we do that is we create some states. So let's have a look at how we do this. We'll just get rid of this and we'll start from scratch so we're not getting confused. And I'm going to create some states. Here we go. And the states that I want to work with are, don't need to be a capital S as well, does it? Just cause with a headache later on. I'm going to go for portrait and oops, not portrait, portrait and landscape. There you are. And we'll go and we'll create a group like normal. Oh, it doesn't like something there. Let's do this and then we'll go back and have a look at that. What do you not like up here? Could not resolve the S states component. Just try that again. No, it was lowercase. Well, that's a bit annoying. Some of it's lowercase and some of it's uppercase. To just follow one convention. Oh, never mind. Okay, so now we'll go and we'll create a group. And like I said earlier, the default layout is portrait. So if we just set the layout as usual, as normal, whoops, to be vertical layout. So that's the default layout. When the phone's held in portrait mode, it's going to have a vertical layout. But what we want to do is we want to specify a new layout. So we're going to say when this layout is in landscape state, we're going to do something different. We're going to make it a horizontal layout. Okay, So now we've got the two different layouts, portrait, which is my default layout, or landscape. And I'll just add some components so that you can see how this will work, to demonstrate it working. I'm going to create a sort of search text box here, and search text, and we'll just make that, change the alpha of the text, because the actual text that you would put into a search box is solid, if you like, is the normal text on a screen, so it demonstrates that you can enter something in there. Basically, it's like a visual cue to your users. And if we add a button here for them to search with, so just whack a label on there. Okay, and outside of this group I'm going to add a text area. So imagine the text area is going to be used for just providing a list of search results. And what I'm saying is that regardless of whether the phone is in portrait or landscape mode, this text area is always going to be displayed at the bottom like this. The only thing that's going to change is that if we're in horizontal mode, if we're in portrait mode, this is going to be laid out vertically, and if we're in landscape mode, this is going to be laid out horizontally, and I'll show you what I mean. We'll just run it. Oh, that wasn't very good. I didn't add any padding to it. So we need all of that. That's interesting that it's laid them out like that. Something up here. I'm missing the default layout for the entire view. So the default layout is going to be a vertical layout. Padding. God. Padding top equals 10. So I'll put an overall padding on it. Not like that. Let's run that again. Okay, that's better. So because I hadn't put a layout on this overall view, it was overlaying this text area on top of this group. But now that I've said that we're going to lay out this group and this text area vertically, it's aligned them vertically together. So as you can see, we've got our search text box here, my search results, and my search button. And if I just change the orientation, and this is quite good Flash Builder allows you just to rotate your device left and right. So if I just rotate it left, you can see that the search results still stay in the same place, but now the search text and the button take a horizontal layout view. So vertical layout, horizontal layout. If this search results had been part of that group, then it would have been aligned up here at this point. But as you can see, you wouldn't want to do that. You would just want, the idea is to make the most use out of your space within the app. So logically think about how many controls you can fit on the screen and what's the best way to lay out those controls for the best user experience. So yeah, that's everything today. So we've looked at layout, we've looked at basic layout, which allows you to specify the X and Y values of where you want to control on a screen. We've looked at vertical layout, horizontal layout, tile layout. We've looked at wrapping everything in a scroller to allow you to have a scroll bar. And we've looked at how you can use different layouts depending on whether you've got portrait state or a landscape state. And that's everything for today. Thanks.